his determination was to kill Bhishmadev, but factually it was to please him as a great devotee of the Lord. And here this his body was wounded and blood was coming out. Huh? So here it is saying all this was to bewilder the non-devotees. So Krishna has to give some chance, some food for thought for the non-devotees, no? That see, to whom you are worshipping as the Supreme Lord, this is his situation in the battlefield. Huh? Dasha Prabhupada is writing, Bhishmadev played the part of a valiant warrior and he purposely pierced the body of the Lord so that to the common yet it appeared that the Lord was wounded. But factually, all this was to bewilder the non-devotees. The all spiritual body cannot be wounded, and the devotee cannot become the enemy of the Lord. Had it been so, Bhishmadev would not have desired to have the very same Lord as the ultimate destination of his life. Had Bhishmadev been an enemy of the Lord, Lord Krishna could have annihilated him without even moving. For Krishna it was not required to get down from the chariot and rush with a chariot wheel in his hand. He's just making a drama there and giving an opportunity for the atheists to criticize him. Okay. Then, the next is speaking. Vijaya Ratha Kutumbavato Totre Dritahaya Rasmini Tatsiyekshaniye Bhagavati Ratirastu Me Mumurshu Jahniha Niriksha Hatagata Swarupam. Read the translation.
At the moment of death, let my ultimate attraction be to Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, and concentrate my mind upon the chariot driver of Arjun, who stood up with a whip in his right hand and a bridal robe in his left, who was very careful to give protection to Arjun's chariot by all means. Those who saw him on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained their original forms after death.
There are 2 points. One is Vijaya Ratha Kutumba and Hatagata Swarupam. Jam iha niriksha Hatagata Swarupam. Vijaya Ratha Kutumba. This word Kutumba means by any means his object of love is the central point of protection. Just like a man in the house, he can do anything just to earn to protect his family members. Sometimes some people do that, right? Because there is his kutumba. Sometimes they would steal money to take care of their family members. That's illegal means. So here, Krishna can even do something which is against the law of the battle, just to protect his friend Arjuna. That is what Bhishmadev is saying. Because Arjun's chariot is your kutumba. Kutumba means that is the object of protection for you by any means. You are not concerned about anything except just protecting Arjun's chariot. How did it happen? One day when Arjuna was fighting with Karna, these people who were in this battle, they were very big warriors and they had all invincible weapons. Karna had one weapon, he was saving it for Arjuna. Huh? So, that Ashwasen Naga was actually was saved for Arjuna by Karna. And that day when Karna was fighting with Arjuna, he thought, now let me get that weapon and I will behead Arjuna. And Krishna knew now Karna is sending that Ashwasena Naga. It has to harm Arjuna. There is no other way. But you see how Krishna protects his devotee. When Krishna could see now Karna is going to throw that Ashwasena weapon. So when the arrow was coming, just about to cut Arjuna's head. At that time Krishna, he kicked the chariot so heavily that the horses, they knelt down. And so then the chariot got down and that arrow came and touched Arjuna's helmet, and Arjuna's helmet was knocked down. Krishna, he looked up at Arjuna. He said, Arjuna, today you must have been dead. But this is the only defeat you have to admit, that your helmet was knocked down by Karna. And Arjuna was saved. Vijaya Ratha Kutumba. By any means, Krishna is going to protect his devotee's property. Can you imagine? Who doesn't want to become a devotee of such a Krishna? Hayarasmini.
But how was he saved when his helmet was knocked off?
Huh?
How was he saved when the helmet came
Arre Baba, his head was supposed to be cut. He was supposed to be beheaded.
Instead it hit the helmet.
Instead his helmet was knocked down.
And that was from Karna
That was by Karna.
to Arjuna.
That's the only defeat.
And was that because of Krishna's doing? Was that because of Krishna?
Because of Krishna.
He decided the arrow would hit the head.
Yeah, he kicked the chariot and the horses knelt down. That's how chariot became low. So the arrow just hit the helmet, not the neck of Arjuna. This is how, by any means, Krishna was giving protection to Arjuna. He is looking so beautiful. He is saying, Dhrita rasmini tatsya ikshaniya. When you are having a bridle on one hand, left hand, and on the right hand you are having the whip up for the horses, and you are driving a chariot, I see you look so beautiful. Vishwadev is saying. Actually, Krishna's beauty was more relished by Bhishmadev than Arjuna. Why? Arjuna is standing behind, right? And Bhishmadev is facing Krishna in front, face to face. So he is able to see the beauty of Krishna better than Arjuna. That's why he is saying, I relish, that pastime. When you were driving Arjuna's chariot. Another day, which is Bhurishrava, he had a boon from Lord Shiva. That boon was, he had a club. If he throws that club at his enemy, definitely no force in this world can save his enemy. It will kill the enemy. Just imagine how Krishna protects his devotees. We are telling this just to tell us that Krishna is so wonderful. When Bhurishrava was fighting with Arjuna, he was just trying to kind of fight the way how he can throw this club to Arjuna. On that day, Krishna was driving chariot in such a way that he did not give any chance to Bhurishrava to throw that club at Arjuna. He was very, swiftly, he was driving chariot here and there, like in a very crooked manner. When Arjuna was driving chariot like this, Bhurishrava got very angry at Krishna. He said, because of this guy only I am not able to attack Arjuna. He became angry at Krishna and he hit club at Krishna. But his boon was, if he throw that weapon to his enemy, then only enemy will be killed. If he is not throwing that to his enemy, then he will be killed.
Is that Bhishma?
Bhurishrava. And as he threw that club at Krishna, so Krishna was not his enemy. Arjuna was his enemy. So what happened? That same club became the cause of the death of Bhurishrava. And Arjuna was protected. See, this is how Krishna. See, Vijaya Ratha Kutumba. So Prabhupada is writing in the purport that a devotee more easily attains samadhi or trance by constantly remembering the Lord's personal feature along with His holy name, fame, pastimes, etc. Therefore, the concentration of the mystic yogi and that of the devotee are not on the same level. The concentration of the mystic is mechanical, whereas that of the pure devotee is natural in pure love and spontaneous affection. That means a pure devotee is naturally attracted, or you can say his mind is naturally absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. How is it possible? That is possible because of Krishna. What happens? When a devotee is sincerely absorbed in serving Krishna, by watching the devotee's sincerity, Krishna himself becomes manifest in the heart, the mind of the devotee. Therefore, devotees don't have to follow the mechanical process. But in this battlefield, those soldiers who are fighting, when they are leaving the body, by seeing Krishna, they attain their spiritual form. All the soldiers and persons on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attain their original spiritual form like the Lord after their death, because by the causeless mercy of the Lord they are able to see Him face to face on that occasion. Then Prabhupada writes about conditioned soul. The conditioned souls rotating in the evolutionary cycle from the aquatics up to the form of Brahma are all in the form of Maya, or the form obtained by one's own actions and awarded by material nature. The material forms of the conditioned souls are all foreign dresses. And when the conditioned soul becomes liberated from the clutches of material energy, he attains his original form. The impersonalist wants to attain the impersonal Brahman effulgence of the Lord, but that is not at all congenial to the living sparks, parts and parcels of the Lord. Therefore, the impersonalists again fall down and get material forms, which are all false to the spirit soul. A spiritual form like the Lord's, either two-handed or four-handed, is attained by the devotees of the Lord either in the Vaikuntha or in the Goloka planet according to the original nature of the soul. This form, which is 100% spiritual, is the Swarupa of the living being, and all the living beings are participated on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on both sides attain their Swarupa or confirmed by Vishnudev. By reading this, we wanted to bring to your attention that sometimes devotees in our organization, they are very much concerned about attaining their Swarupa. What will happen to my Swarupa? I want my Swarupa. Why you are concerned? Krishna, when he finds that you are qualified, he will reveal that Swarupa to you. So you don't have to worry about it at all.
Is this our Swarupa in the spiritual world?
Swarupa in the spiritual world. That is what we quoted, no? Kala pradurabhut kala tarit saudamini jatha.
But you see here, it's explaining that the demigods like Brahma have the evolutionary cycle for Brahma, right? But when they're engaging in service, don't they have a spiritual body?
When?
The demigods, when they're engaging in service, do they not engage into the spiritual body?
Spiritual?
Do they not have a spiritual body when they're carrying out their tasks?
What do you think? People in this world, they have spiritual body?
Not those that are not engaging in service.
But those who are engaging in service, everybody has spiritual body?
No, not everybody.
But they are engaged in service or not?
They are, but they haven't
See, anyone can serve Krishna. A conditioned soul can still serve Krishna.
Right.
Who had spiritual body? Our Dhruva Maharaj, he had spiritual body. Because with the same body he went back home, back to Godhead. Body is getting spiritualized in Krishna's service.
So gradually we attain that.
But the point is, the demigods, see, you said demigod must be a spiritual body. I said that devotees in this world also serving Krishna. But it's not that to serve Krishna, everybody needs to have a spiritual body. No. Even in the material, in the conditioned life also one can serve Krishna. While serving, gradually he is getting purified.
But how would one get to the stage where they actually receive that spiritual body?
Oh, that you have to leave this body, this kala pradurabhut kala tarit saudamini jatha. That is what I was referring to. Narada Muni's time happened, no?
But isn't it possible to have a spiritual body while we're here on earth?
You can also have. That will be by Krishna's mercy.
Is that just through His mercy?
Yes.
Okay.
But why are you so much concerned about your what body? As long as you have a body, just use it in Krishna's service. What makes it difference for you? Whether you have a spiritual body or material body. Service is transcendental. No, you need to understand this concept. I mean to say. Service is transcendental. So when you are doing this service, you are protected. Anyway, we have to leave this material body. Even if you want to have a spiritual body, you have to leave this material body, right?
So what you mean to say is that even though service is transcendental, it shouldn't really affect whether we have a spiritual body or not, because we would still be able to engage in that same service transcendentally.
Exactly. Whether you have material body or spiritual body, you are getting this transcendental service.
Right.
So in any condition of life, you are able to serve Krishna.
But then what would be the difference between having a spiritual body and transcendental service and not?
You can get also, it will happen by Krishna's mercy, automatically it will happen.
No, but what I mean to say is, what is the difference between having a spiritual body and...
So spiritual body means it is not going to get destroyed afterwards, once you get the spiritual soul. Material body will be destroyed. That is the difference. That's why when you enter the spiritual world, then you get an eternal body, spiritual body. That is always remain, that is not going to be destroyed.
Also, what you mean to say is that those that have attained the spiritual body, their material body will be destroyed, but their spiritual body will just return to...
You will actually leave this body, you will enter into that spiritual body.
The same spiritual body that you were living in previously. Is that what you mean to say?
Previously means when? If you had come from there, then only, yes. If you had come from there, then only you will have the same body. Big topic. Don't enter into this topic. If you want to ask me separately, then you can ask.
Okay, fine.
I can respond to you.
Okay.
There's a lot of discussion content there. Okay, so then 40. ललित गति विलास बल गुहास प्रणय निरीक्षण कल्पितोरुमानः ऋतमनुकृतवत्य उन्मदन्ध प्रकृति मगन किल रस्य कोपवद्व. Is the translation?
Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Sri Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsel of Brajdham, the Gopi. The damsels imitated the characteristic movement of the Lord after his disappearance from the Rasa dance.
He is remembering Krishna is dealing with the gopis. Kritam anukritavatya unmadandha prakriti magan kilajasya gopavadva. Why did Bhishma glorify gopis? Prabhupada writes in the purport that Bhishma's aspiration to render the gopis, Bhishma's aspiration to remember the gopis is a prayer to have their mercy also at the last stage of his life. The Lord is satisfied more when his pure devotees are glorified. And therefore, Bhishmadev has not only glorified the acts of Arjuna, his immediate object of attraction, but has also remembered the gopis, who were endowed with unrivaled opportunities by rendering loving service to the Lord. Vishnudev is glorifying the gopis because Krishna is satisfied when pure devotees are glorified. Then 41, he speaks about मुनिगण नृपवर्य संकुलान्तः सदसि युधिष्ठिरराजसूयेषाम् अर्हणमुपपेद ईक्षणीयो मम दृशि गोचर एष आविरात्मा. Is the translation?
At the Rajasuya Yajna sacrifice performed by Maharaja Yudhishthira, there was the greatest assembly of all the elite men of the world, the royal and learned orders. And in that great assembly, Lord Sri Krishna was worshipped by one and all as the most exalted personality of Godhead. This happened during my presence, and I remembered the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord.
So this is the point Vishnudev is actually speaking. After Yudhishthira Maharaj he, uh, when Yudhishthira Maharaj actually performed this Rajasuya Yajna, so in Rajasuya Yajna, Krishna was worshipped. The discussion started. In this yajna, who should be worshipped? He is the greatest person. So many people suggested different people's name. Even there's Bhishma Dev should be worshipped. But this Sahadev, he said Krishna should be worshipped, and Bhishma Dev supported that. He said, yes, Krishna is the greatest person, he should be worshipped. That's why this happened during my presence, and I remembered the incident in order to keep my mind upon the Lord. Because you are greatest, I know, therefore I always meditate upon you. Read this paragraph. So in the great assembly,
So in the great assembly, Lord Shri Krishna was the cynosure of neighboring eyes. Everyone wanted to see Lord Krishna, and everyone wanted to pay his humble respects to the Lord. Bhishma Dev remembered all this and was glad that his worshipful Lord, the personality of Godhead, was present before him in his actual formal presence. So, to meditate on the Supreme Lord is to meditate on the activities, form, pastimes, name, and fame of the Lord. That is easier than what is imagined as meditation on the impersonal feature of the Supreme. In Bhagavad Gita 12.5, it is clearly stated that to meditate upon the impersonal feature of the Lord, of the Supreme, is very difficult. It is practically no meditation or simply a waste of time, because very seldom is the desired result obtained. The devotees, however, meditate upon the Lord's factual form and pastimes, and therefore the Lord is easily approachable by the devotees. This is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita 12.9. The Lord is non-different from his transcendental activities. It is indicated also in this shloka that Lord Krishna, while actually present before human society, especially in connection with the battle of Kurukshetra, was accepted as the greatest personality of the time. Although he might not have been recognized as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the propaganda that a very great man is worshipped as God after his death is misleading, because a man after his death cannot be made into God, nor can the personality of Godhead be a human being, even when he is personally present. Both ideas are misconceptions. The idea of anthropomorphism cannot be applicable in the case of Lord Krishna.
Some people, they accept a very famous person to be God while they are alive. And some others, even after they are dead, also some other people, they consider him as God. But for Krishna, it's not like that. It's not that he was made to become a God by some people, by vote. Krishna is God eternally. That is what he is saying. Not that in Rashtriya Yajna some people came together, they voted him, they glorified him, that's how he became God, is Krishna. No, he is saying he is always God. That is the point of Bhishmadev in Rashtriya Yajna, who was regarded as top